Greetings, algo artisans. We're going to jump in the charts and we will get to some of the other content a little bit later. I want to start looking at Bitcoin and Ethereum, and then we will move on. We do have what might be the next Kaspa. Kaspa is doing great, and I think there's another coin that might follow in its footsteps. We'll get to that in a minute. Take a look here at Bitcoin. We do see Bitcoin following the pattern more or less that I forecasted last week, right? This would be Friday the 16th. So this is going back several days, and prices ranged up here and tested the bottom of this range. It does seem like it might actually reject to the upside and continue through this range. Now, as really any tradable asset, as it goes into a range, it's eventually going to pop out, and as it does, that's going to have to do with liquidity, with things in the higher time frames, going to have to do with a lot of things. And one of the factors in my decision to go short, which I am in a short, by the way, that was because there's a lot of liquidity down here down really in the low 40,000s. But I do think that low 40s is so far away, price may run up to grab liquidity before it goes there. And in the meantime, there is a decent amount of liquidity in this 48,000 range. So I am short down to that area. I do have a particular stop loss, and that stop loss was very well placed because it has protected me very nicely. So I do believe price will bump around in this range, and then it will probably make its way down. However, it might not do that, and this is not investment advice. Please do your own research and talk to a licensed investment advisor before trading, because you can lose all of your money by doing so. Let's take a quick look at Ethereum before we move on. Okay, so here's Ethereum on the daily, and it's certainly on a hard run. It hit 3,000 this morning. 3,000, actually just below 3,000, was one of my targets. So I did have that target, and I've talked about that on these shows for several days. So had I been long, I would have taken profit out. Had I been trading, not buying and holding, but trading, I would have taken some profit off right before it hit 3,000. So target number one hit. Also, I do have a second target. It's right at about 3,400. Okay, so why do I have 3,400? Well, you can see some of these lines here. You got this purple line, might be a little hard to see on the camera. And then above here, a little bit higher, you have a red line. These are Fibonacci levels. Okay, these are Fib levels. If you want to know how Fibonacci works and using these metric tools, come over to algofactory.tech. We'll explain it all to you. They're very easy to use, very easy to learn. It doesn't take much time at all. However, I would usually front run those levels, and 3,400 is a round number, so I probably would front run that well, right about 3,390 if I were trading, right? If I were in like a multi-week trade, something like that. That's not how I trade, but if I were trading, that's where I would exit. If I were buying and holding, I probably would simply buy and, hold. I would not be selling at these levels, but those are areas where I think price might find some trouble, just like right now. Ethereum hit 3,000, rejected to the downside, but in looking at it, it's still pretty bullish, especially in the higher time frame. Price will probably continue up into that 3,400 target. Now 3,586, that is an older pivot point from back in 2022. A little hard to see on this daily chart, but price probably will find some trouble there, turn back around. We'll see about it. We'll see what happens, right? If the market is hyper bullish, then probably not. So we're going to talk about what might be the next Kaspa, right? In fact, the title of the video today is Everybody Talking About the Next Kaspa. But we're going to do some chart analysis. There is a mystery coin that we'll talk about shortly, but first we are going to look at Kaspa, and we'll look at Kaspa from just its website point of view. What is Kaspa? Why is it doing well? Well, it's a proof of work coin, right? It's got very fast transactions, very fast confirmation, right? Multiple blocks per second, but the blocks are a second long. It says this comes at no trade-off to security and decentralization as seen with proof of stake networks, right? So what they're saying here is we're proof of work, but we're just as fast. They also boast that it's a lower energy consumption than a lot of your other cryptocurrencies. So they're in the proof of work game, and guys like me, I do prefer proof of work. It is truly decentralized. To me, there's something about it. The computers are actually doing the calculations. You're not relying on a protocol, right? I do feel personally that's more decentralized. However, I am not a tech guy, so I am kind of going a little bit on gut on that one. So I don't want to make it sound like I understand a lot about proof of work versus proof of stake. You can see right here, they agree with me. These are tech guys and gals. So, they definitely feel that proof of work is much more secure. So that said, that's Kaspa. What really matters about Kaspa is why it actually did so well. So we're going to go over to a great video from Crypto Banter. He's going to explain briefly what happened with Kaspa, why it started doing well. So here we go. All right.
If you look at the Kaspa chart, what happened is it was over here. Kaspa was trading at less than 1 cent. By the way, it's now 18 cents. And what happened is they launched revolutionary mining devices. They launched Kaspa ASICs.
All right, so as you can see, this all went back to a time when Kaspa was being mined on, I don't know what kind of machines, probably just computers, PCs, just like Bitcoin initially was, right? And then back in June, as you saw it on the video, June of 2023, they went ahead and moved over to ASIC mines. Well, there's a new coin that may be going that route. And why do we think that? Why do we think this new coin we're about to talk about is going to go the same route of Kaspa, at least from that standpoint? Well, it's because there was a massive spike in hash rate. So if we go and look at Kaspa's chart, I'm going to move up to a higher time frame here. Okay, so we can go back to June of last year, and you'll notice Kaspa has just started taking off. It was trading under 1 cent all the way back here on the screen. You can see it there, and then it went ahead and just nuked upwards, headed up towards what is this? It's at 18. Well, really now it's at 17, cents. Probably going to take a break. I mean, maybe not. This thing could just mob up. We don't really know what's going to happen, but certainly on the weekly chart it is taking a breather. So it may do a pullback. In fact, I will do a brief analysis of this. I would look at this as if Kaspa moved down to about 15.7 cents, I would start to look for it to possibly turn around and head up. But I would be using my algorithms to predict that, right? I wouldn't be just willy-nilly buying at that level. It might actually head down deeper to the 12 or 13 cent level. It might not at all. It may FOMO up and continue to do so. However, the next coin we're going to look at has a similar pattern when it comes to the development of the coin. Now, Kaspa initially had that hash rate spike, and this coin is Ethereum, and Ethereum has a similar hash rate spike. And this again was pointed out on Crypto Banter, but right here on the Ethereum whale, this is where the information actually came from on Twitter, on X, if you will. He says here, a high surge of hash rate has just occurred on Ethereum testnet. Up to 40 gigahash per second. Might be ASIC coming. Follow the miners. So when ASICs get involved, the networking, as Crypto Banter said, get large, get secure, and get faster. So we might be seeing the same pattern. Now let's see where what Ethereum is. It is a proof of work, right? They call it proof of less work is what they call it, right? They want to secure scalable dApps for real world use cases, scalable for devs, secure for users, decentralized for all. They even have their own coding language. You contribute, you can mine, just like you would, any kind of coin that comes out this day, programmable, secure, virtual machine programming language. There it is. So it's got its own language, which is actually pretty helpful. It's a sharding blockchain with high transaction throughput. So with this, we want to take a look at the chart itself. So let's move over to the charts. So Ethereum is sitting at $3.18. Now this is the weekly chart, so I do want to head down to the daily chart. It did hit, what is this, MexC? It hit them, MexC exchange at about 96 cents. It's already up to $3.18. So I'm going to go to a lower on the daily time frame. And now Ethereum is $3.18. It's not a 1 cent coin or 2 cent coin, so we're assuming that this coin would get rather large to make those massive returns. But at the same time, if there is a test net moving over to ASIC, even if you get a times 10, $30 coin's not that big. I mean, it's big, but it's not that big. It all has to do with market cap and the usage and all that type of stuff. I can tell you it is pretty bullish. I looked at the algos just a few moments ago, and I could tell you that it does want to continue up. Now, if I were to go ahead and do some Fibonacci extensions just to get the basic next move up. Now, this isn't talking about a times 10 or anything like that. I'd say that the next area to be breached that kind of matters is going to be up $3.44, and then it would be a doubling from the Fibonacci extension up past 384. Now, if price gets above, I'd say 385. So if price crosses 385, then we probably have some clues that it's going to continue up. But right now, as far as we know, it hasn't gone to ASIC miners yet. So this could be a massive move. This could be times 2, times 5, times 10. It might not do anything. This is an investment advice, but this is just a nice little move that you might be able to make once you do your own research and everything. So I hope this was helpful. If you like our work, please head over to algofactory.tech. We can help you learn how to use these Fibonacci, extensions and all kinds of different tools. There's a whole lot of different methods. In fact, we help people create algorithms. The stuff you see on the bottom of the screen right there, that is not my full algorithm. That's actually maybe 3 times that, right? That's just a bunch of data that I am testing for an algorithm. It's much more simple than that. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. team. It does take time to learn, and we don't guarantee, nothing's ever guaranteed in trading. I don't care who you talk to. So please come check us out, though. We are very undervalued. Our service price will be going up, but we will grandfather you in if you get in at the current very low price. So algofactory.tech, link in the description. We hope to see you on the next one. Trade your job, upgrade your life. All right, hope you enjoyed the show. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. On the screen there, you can see our website, algofactory.tech. Tap that QR code to take us straight there. I'm also very active on X. That's algo_factory777. We got TikTok and Rumble. In the meantime, we hope to see you over at the website. Come on over, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll see you there.